All right, so the fourth and final piece of this is all about links. Now, links is often something that's commonly misunderstood or commonly miscommunicated from agency to client. I say that lightly, but this is all about building authority with Google. If you get mentioned on other websites, right, especially legal websites, and they link back to you as attribution, similar to how you would footnote a contract, right? If you're a footnote in somebody else's article, that footnote is a link. That is a tremendous signal to Google that you're popular, people are talking about you, and that you deserve to be shown in Google results. So here's a very crude example, write an article on TechCrunch. There's an HTML link here that's linking to this auto blog here. This link right here is literally, it's kind of like a vote popularity contest. That's the simplest way I can describe it. And it is a huge ranking signal with Google. It literally tells Google about popularity and that people are talking about you. You're an active and you're a powerful business that deserves the real estate in Google. Now, links come in many different forms and they are not all created equal. Now, here's a very quick and dirty diagram that I put together here. Now, this is just a simple quad chart. On the bottom axis, we have traffic, high traffic, low traffic websites, right? And on the left, we have authority, high authority, low authority. Authority is an SEO term. It's deemed kind of ironically, the number of links that a website has, the more authoritative it is, right? So when we look at Forbes, it's a very high traffic, high authority website. Getting a link from Forbes is going to be much more powerful than, getting a blog comment mention on a low traffic, low authority website, right? Some random blog in the corner of the internet. Google's not really going to count that nearly as much as they count this. In fact, they're probably not going to count this at all. So the focus needs to be on high authority, high traffic, highly relevant too. That's the other thing. If you can get on the legal journal versus Forbes, that's 10 times more powerful because it's in the legal space. So authority, relevancy, and traffic are all key factors here when it comes to getting links that are actually going to move the needle. So when it comes to attorney link building, there's really three types that we want to try and target here. The first and most powerful is what I call PR links, right? So here's a story about John Morgan in a business journal, and they link back to his website with this link right here. Getting this link right here, I just put this little emoji here, money is money in the bank, right? If you can get a couple of these per month, 5, 10, you're gonna make a lot of money with organic search. Now the challenge here is twofold. One is that these types of links are expensive. You gotta hire a PR company. They're probably gonna cost you anywhere from $6,000 to $15,000 per month, depending on the quality of it. Two is coming up with stories that are worthy of being news. The news, as we know, I mean, it's a bunch of nonsense, right? There's so much information. It's mostly entertainment-based news. So we have to understand how to craft stories that's going to want us to be covered in a PR outlet, right? Because the better story that we come up with, the better place that you're going to be featured. So being able to figure this out, I'm telling you, is money in the bank. We have a ton of PR companies that we partner with for some of our more top tier, attorney clients who are willing to spend that type of money for the exposure, because it's not just about SEO. This is also a branding exercise. It's also client getting exercise. Getting featured in press is just proven to help out with everything from a marketing point of view, but especially from an SEO point of view. So if you can afford to get PR links and invest in a good PR company, strongly recommend this. This will take care of all your link building needs for the foreseeable future. The next one, number 2, is what we call HARO links, right? And HARO stands for Help a Reporter Out. Help a reporter out. Basically, it's a website. It's a platform where reporters go in and every day they list out the things that they need. They need quotes from experts for articles. So like, I need a legal expert to talk to me about the product recall on gas cans, right? They'll literally send these emails out to PR companies, to our company too. We actually monitor this platform as well. And what we'll do is we'll scan through it for our clients and we'll find stories that we feel like our clients can add value to. So you're essentially an expert that they're looking for a quote from. And in that quote, they'll actually give you a link back to your website. This is a very, very powerful, much more cost effective, but not quite as powerful as PR because it doesn't scale quite as well. It's a lot more effort and energy, but we do this for our attorney clients all the time. This type of service for us costs anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 per month and will generally return. So about half of what PR costs and generally returning the same amount of links. Very, very good links, right? But it's also a little bit of a slower process because we have to manually pitch. With a PR company out of the box, they come with a relationship. They're like, oh yeah, no, we've done this before. We'll just send a few emails and you're good. So a PR company will speed things up, whereas HARO link building will take a little bit more time, but this is incredibly impactful as well. This, when it comes to an SEO value, right? HARO links are just as good as PR links. But when it comes to a promotional value, PR links are going to be a little bit better, just because, getting on Forbes is more of a branding moment than getting on, a random attorney website. But again, from the SEO value, from the SEO ranking power, these are just as good. And the final one, and this is usually more for beginners here, is falling back on bloggers, right? So what we'll do here for clients as well is we build a big database of legal websites, legal blogs that we've worked with in the past, and then we send manual pitches to them for inclusion. That could be like, hey, we'll write an article for you, or like, hey, do you need a quote? Or like, hey, we found this error, can we fix it? We have a whole bunch of different tactics that we'll send out, but the goal here again is to get featured on legal relevant blogs. Now these ones, again, in this game, name, you pay for what you get for. PR is the top, Haro is a very close second, and bloggers are a third. A lot of the times what we'll do, especially for clients that are looking to get very aggressive with their growth, is we'll do a combination of all three. And this will allow us to pick up much more links in a much shorter time period, which will help to boost rankings and also keep rankings and get them to stick. Link building is something that you want to do as an ongoing basis. It's not like a campaign that you do once a year. You want to try and aim to get 5 to 10 links per month over a 12-month period. And if you can do that, if you can get any one of these three types of links 5 to 10 per month, you're going to get a lot more traffic and you're going to get a lot more phone calls. So I know what you're thinking, this is a lot, is it worth it? And in short, yes it is, because the numbers work out in your favor. The biggest challenge I think with SEO is that it does cost a good amount of money, and especially up front, and it takes a little bit of time for it to kick in. So you're being asked to invest in really 3 months up front before you start to see that return. But again, with SEO, and fortune favors the bold, as we say, if you can push through that and get to that hockey stick growth, your ROI is insane. It's insane, which is why so many SEO agencies charge attorneys a premium, because we know how much money you make an insane amount of money off SEO. You know it, I know it. And that's why a lot of attorney SEO agencies charge so much, because they understand the return on what they're doing is going to drive exponential growth in your business. The biggest discrepancy in cost, as I said, really comes when it comes to links, right? Because SEO strategy and content, it's pretty stable with us, but when we partner with our attorney clients, depending on what level they can invest in, and we always tell you to go up market and invest a little bit more because it's going to return faster and it's going to return stickier. In SEO, you get what you pay for. If you try and cut corners and pay someone less money, you're just not going to get as good results. That's just what it is. And the best thing about SEO is that it's super easy to measure, especially ROI and expected return. And you can do this by just using your website's data. In our agency, our engineering team actually built a tool to help us do this. So what it does is we take data from your Google Analytics account, your past performance, right? And we'll do an analysis on that. Then we'll take data from the market, from your competitors, all their keyword data, and we jam it into a database. And what we now have is we have a little bit of history on your past performance. And then we also understand what the total addressable market is for all your keywords based on your competitors. And then we run some growth models. And what it can do is it tells us what the expected return on an SEO campaign is. We can accurately forecast how much traffic you could and should be getting. And with that, what we then do is just look at the conversion rate of your website. And we say, okay, in month 1, you can expect 10%. In month 3, 40%. In month 10, 120% more traffic. And when we take that traffic and we can multiply that against what your website's conversion rate is, or how many people come to your website and end up calling or submitting a form. And once we do that, then we know exactly how many new leads you could be getting, and also how much more revenue that you will be getting from an organic search campaign. And this tool is incredibly powerful because it takes a lot of the guesswork out of SEO. It takes a lot of that, well, I don't know what this is going to return. I don't feel like just spending money. I could be doing this, I could be doing that, I could be doing bus bench ads, please don't. So that's literally why we built this tool. And I want to give you a special offer for us to run this tool for you absolutely free. We usually only run this for clients, but I'm happy to run this on your website if you're an attorney. All you have to do is hit the link below. It'll take you to a form, book a time with our growth team. We'll get the data inputs that we need, and then we'll run it for you the next day. It is incredibly powerful and is an absolute game changer. So if you're interested, all you have to do is hit the link below. And if not, just like, comment, leave me something on this video that's nice, and I'll see you in the next one.